It is utterly disingenuous. It is utterly disingenuous.
Please.
You should retract your insidious,
I'll put your arguments in their place in a moment.
Record. You're insulting every single person.
I'll expose your dishonesty in a moment.
I regard the Minister's approach to being completely dishonest, representing a government that is completely dishonest, that corrals power, listens only to certain insiders. This minister has an appalling record in not in any way engaging with pro-life people, respectful people who have a case to make. Presided over a completely corrupt process whereby the 3-year review in abortion was supposed to be an independent person. He gave that commitment at a certain point. He said that there would be public recruitment of the person, and in the end the government chose a person who was not independent and who had expressed views in favour of changes in our abortion law. And the later attempt then to kind of shore up that inadequacy and corruption in the process was that, it simply meant that they had to be independent from politicians, and absolutely laughably thin. And that's why I say there is no other word for the government's approach in this. It is unprincipled, it is dishonest, it is reckless about protection of human life. And it's also reckless, and I think this is coming out in the referendums and other campaigns we're having, that the government is more interested in getting its way than in consulting with ordinary people. It is more interested, and the minister is more interested in talking to insiders than in, for example, hearing from, even as a democratic obligation or courtesy, the many, many representatives of the pro-life perspective in society, which says that both mothers and their unborn babies should be protected. And there's something Borg-like for fans of Star Trek, in which the minister and the government just, plough on mechanically, as though there weren't ethical and professional concerns, as though there weren't countless good people in our society who want to witness respectfully to the dignity of both unborn babies and their mothers, and who would deserve at the very least the courtesy. And I remember actually engaging with the minister a couple of years ago on these issues and saying, would you consider meeting? Oh, I'll meet with anybody. But that was what was said to me off camera, so to speak. But when it came to requests to get a hearing from the Department of Health, I'm afraid it was computer says no. So I don't have any respect for the way the minister carries out his responsibilities as a Minister for Health, particularly in relation to, I don't have anything against you, Minister, personally, but I utterly deplore the way you have carried out your duties as Minister for Health, and the government you represent have been utterly unprincipled and utterly disrespectful of human life, and in recent times utterly disrespectful of dissent. The arrogance of power is clearly on display.